My wife is having an emotional affair with her married coworker. He wants to be with her. Hi, welcome to my channel. Today, we've got a story from our /relationship_advice where Op's wife is having an emotional affair with her married coworker and the AP wants to be with her. Before we start, if you have any personal stories of how you got out of a toxic relationship with your cheating wife or girlfriend that you want to share, feel free to email them to me. Let's get started. Original story. Like all marriages, ours isn't perfect. We met in 2010, got engaged in 2011, married in 2012, kids in 2013 and 2016. In 2017, my wife's boss left to move to the southeast to take a C-level job. He asked my wife to move to be his assistant or something. I didn't think he was serious, but he invited us down in the third quarter of 2017 to see the city and gave her an offer. We're both from the Midwestern city, born and raised. I worked at a family business, never thought we'd leave. We went, liked it, and thought we'd take the leap. I'll spare you the details, but there was a lot of back and forth, including her saying she didn't want to go days before we were to leave. We went and things were rough. I got an offer a month after we moved, but she said to decline it, it wasn't enough money. I had second thoughts but did decline and keep looking. Our house finally sold in May of 2018, and we bought a much more expensive house than I wanted to buy. I didn't have a job and was worried, rightfully so. Her job was going well, she was working a ton, I was job searching 3 days a week and had our kids 2 days a week. Right after we moved, I injured my back and had to have surgery for a ruptured disc. Meanwhile, I got convinced to try financial advising. I made no money but was promised future riches. Studied for the tests, all that, finally linked back up with the company I got the offer from right after we moved here. They still needed me, I accepted and started in Jan of 2019. Going back to her starting her job, she met a guy, VP level, that started the same day. I had coffee with him to network, he even brought me in to interview in the summer of 2018 for 3 different positions. I wasn't a fan of him but my wife and he became work friends. He promised me an offer, then recanted the offer and she was pissed at him. He's married, 2 kids, house, the whole deal. I questioned their relationship but never in a million years would I thought she would cheat. Fast forward to this summer. We had a bunch of issues, she said she wanted a divorce. I said fine. The next day we talked it over and promised to work on our relationship. Things have been improving since July. Sex has increased, I've tried hard, sent her flowers, taken her on dates, etc. She's still working a ton, traveling. She hasn't seemed fully engaged but she was preparing for a huge conference she had. She gets home from the conference exhausted, as expected. She didn't text much while there, but I knew she was busy. Fast forward to this weekend. I was gone Friday and Saturday, running an event in NY. We get up, go to the gym together, my father-in-law is in town, he watches the kids. We get back and I promised my son, 6, we could go see Adam's family at the movie theater. I take a shower and look at her phone to get pics of the kids downloaded to my phone from their couple of days together and see her hidden folder has a bunch of files. I check it out and it's screenshots of her texts with the guy at work. Talking about how gorgeous she is, how they're gonna make out in the hideout, etc. I start feeling ill but go to the movie and dinner with her, our kids, and my father-in-law. I'm quiet and they ask what's going on, etc. I say I'm feeling sick and I was busy of what I saw. I have no idea what to do. Do I confront her, talk to a lawyer first, etc.? I'm heartbroken for myself but more so for my kids, who are now in this situation. Cheating was always a deal breaker, period. Sorry for the long backstory and rant, I feel like my whole world has flipped upside down in the last 12 hours. Thanks for letting me vent. Update. First of all, let me say that I greatly appreciate the comments, suggestions, and PMs. These have been the darkest days of my life, and something I never thought I would have to experience. Secondly, sorry it took so long to post an update. As I said, I've been in a very bad place mentally and it's affected me more than I could have ever imagined. Finally, this is going to be very long. I don't blame you if you don't want to read it. However, I'll appreciate all thoughts and comments, unless they're mean or hurtful. I don't even know where to start, but I guess the best place is the day after I found out. I found screenshots of texts between my wife and her coworker on Sunday. I met with a lawyer on Monday over lunch and discussed my options and laws in my state. She mentioned I could wait and gather more dirt via a PI, but I had everything I need. I confronted her on that Monday evening. She didn't deny it and I asked her to tell me everything. According to her, she's always been attracted to him since they started on the same day. A month ago, she went to Vegas for a conference she planned. On Saturday evening, After everything was over, they all went to a nightclub and she said they kissed for the first time. She said she felt terrible afterward and came home the next day, as planned. She said she realized it was wrong, but they started texting again and meeting at work to kiss, later in the week. It continued the next week, meeting in a vacant conference room at work to kiss, either during work or from 5 o'clock to 5:15, the time when she said a meeting ran late, etc. I found out on a Sunday and didn't confront her until Monday night. Well, I asked her if anything happened today, the day I confronted her, and she said they went to lunch and kissed in the car. I'll spare you the details, but the whole evening was one of the worst moments of my life. Her father was still in town and upstairs. After she told me she went to lunch with him that day, I lost it. I went for a walk and then marched upstairs and told her father. He was shocked. My wife and I started arguing again, and it lasted well into the night. We've spoken and hashed out details almost every night since then, hence why I'm exhausted. She had a work trip the next weekend to TX. She asked if she should cancel, and I asked if he would be there, and she didn't think so. I said go ahead, it's for work and I don't want to interrupt your job. I asked her on that Thursday night to not talk to or see him unless it's strictly for work. I also asked her to promise me that regardless of what happens with us, that she not have any further emotional or physical affairs until we're separated. Anything else might destroy me completely. While in Texas, she texted me often and I finally asked if he was there. Yes. When she got back on Sunday, I asked if anything happened. Her response was, no. The week was tough again, but we talked and she said she was in a terrible spot in our marriage and isn't sure she wants to try to fix it. She's not sure she can get back to being happy with me and us. Keep in mind, we've struggled for a long time. We almost got separated in July but said we'd try again and put forth the effort. Well, on Saturday, just 5 days ago, I snooped through her iPad and found more texts. He claims he's in love with her or falling. He wants to be with her, near her, etc. Turns out they met in Dallas for coffee and talked. After begging her to tell me what else happened, she swears nothing else happened. She claims she's trying to push him away and he's really into her. We even went out to dinner to talk, I got a babysitter, and tried to relax. In summary, I have no idea what to do or where to go. I love my wife, I care about her, I care about our family, and know what effect it will have on our children. I was willing to change things about me, change our relationship, etc. I'm willing to put in the work. She's not sure if we can ever get there again. I booked a couples therapy appointment for this coming Tuesday. We're hoping to become friends, work on communication, and have decided to stay together through the holidays. I thought about texting him, telling him, in a way that won't affect me legally down the line, to stop contacting my wife, etc. I'm 100% going to tell his wife, which he hasn't done yet. I'm just waiting because I know it's going to destroy her and change their family forever, and I don't know if I can emotionally handle that right now. He's got nothing right now. He destroyed my family, along with my wife, and continues to want to be with her, etc. He needs a wake-up call, which will happen. As of right now, I don't think my wife realizes the pain and hurt she's caused me and this family. I think if we were to get separated, she might have that moment when she comes into an empty house or apt with no husband and no kids, and might change her mind. I know I'm hanging on to something that might be a lost cause. But, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to try to save this. If she's not on board, or if I can't get past this, then it won't work. But I want to tell my kids when they're older, that mom and dad tried everything to save this marriage. I can't imagine not seeing my kids every day, hugging them, and telling them I love them. I guess I'm taking one step at a time. I'm hoping counseling will answer some questions for me, and give me clarity. I go back and forth every day, but in the end, I'm the kind of person that claws for every last inch until there is nothing there. If it isn't, I'll know I gave it my best effort. If you have any thoughts/opinions on texting him, telling his wife, or this relationship, please let me know. If you can keep the comments civil, I'd appreciate it. I'm already hurting so much. Thanks again. Before we take a look at some replies by other Redditors, take a moment to like the video to show your support to the channel. Don't forget to leave your own opinion on the story in the comments down below. Now let's look at some comments. Jitterbug 2018 Avatar. My problem with your post is that your wife continues to be dishonest with you. She didn't know this guy was going to be on her trip? They were away together and she says nothing happened? Does she continue to text this guy after being found out? Does she express any remorse at all? It just doesn't seem like she's putting any effort into repairing your marriage. It's almost like she's already on her way out. I hope I'm wrong, but the best thing you can do now is to take action to protect yourself legally as much as possible. Op replied to Jitterbug 2018 and wrote, I agree. I struggle because I'm trying and she both doesn't seem to want to work at it and doesn't seem to have remorse. It's so shocking because she's always been 100% against cheating. I hate to say it, but I feel like she did this to get out. She thought I was going to bail immediately, and when I didn't, she doesn't know what to do. And yes, she's still being dishonest, and that hurts so bad. For her to not care about me is one thing, but for her to discard her family so flippantly, guts me to the core. Ancient Mite wrote, "You are being blinded by desperation to make this work. Your wife has had sex with this man. They have spent too much time in private together. Having sex in an affair situation leads to sex about 500x faster than normal relationships. Two people who feel trapped will explode with each other under the right circumstances. It's probably why people cheat, because of the thrill, because of the passion. It's like being 16 again, where the sex is furious and forbidden. This is the zest and excitement people look for when they are stuck in failing/boring marriages that follow the everyday drudgery of kids, upkeeping a home, and satisfying a partner you are no longer attracted to. I used to be the other man at a job I had. I didn't know it at the time, and I was single. Yes, it started with kissing, but even from that first kiss her hand was rubbing my dick, and every time we were in a meeting she would sit next to me and make those long boring meetings into a heated excitement that ended up exploding into a passionate blowjob in the parking garage." Ken Mel wrote, "If you are giving it a try at making this work, you need to remember your real problem is your wife, not the other guy. First, why do you believe what she has been saying since she was confronted? It is very likely that when she is with him and not you, they are cheating, and it is continuing. You need to get that pie now, because it is very likely that she is still not honest with you about what is happening now and what has already happened. Next, even if she breaks it off with him, what about the next guy? It is easy for a woman. There was nothing you could have done to prevent this, but don't be a fool now. That is what you owe yourself." Deuce83 wrote, "You know what, fuck all these other commenters. Everything is different when you have kids. It's worth giving yourself one chance to try to save it. For the kid's sake, if not for hers. She did a bad thing. Sometimes good people do bad things. Sometimes good people turn into bad people. It's up to you to judge which it is. I wouldn't bet on it, but you shouldn't be shamed for taking one last shot. I didn't feel the urge to out the fourth, unknowing, party in my past open relationship, but I guess that's because I more or less consented to the third party's involvement in my now defunct marriage. So if it will make you feel better to blow up their marriage, then that's what you gotta do." Op replied to Deuce83 and wrote, "I appreciate your post. It's easy for others to say, leave, F her. But I've built a life and family with this woman. I owe it to myself and my kids to give everything I've got. If she walks away, so be it, the pain can't be much worse. We had a great day yesterday. Gym in the morning, son's basketball and netball games, then dinner at our house with friends. She made food I love and did everything. We also talked on Friday night and she finally gave me a heartfelt apology, which made me feel good. I told her I told his wife, and she didn't argue with me or anything. I honestly think it's starting to sink in what exactly she did. We're going to couples counseling tomorrow, and I'm curious how that'll go. If she doesn't love me or if I can't get past this, then we'll do what's best for the kids. Either way, I'm taking one step at a time." Thanks again for the post. Lovealone88 wrote, "I know you want to be able to tell your kids you did everything to save it, and I think you have. Your wife's continued lies, lack of remorse, and her "I don't think we can get to where we used to be" are reason enough to walk out. I'm telling you, from experience, even if she decides she wants to fix this, you will never be able to trust her again. She will always be capable of putting you through this. I don't necessarily believe once a cheater, always a cheater, but I do believe once they cheat on you, they will more than likely cheat on you again. I'm so sorry, Op. Good luck getting through the holidays." Lodge CLK wrote, "It takes two people to save a relationship. She's lying, she's cheating, and they keep meeting to kiss i.e., she's blowing him or they are fucking in her car or the conference room. People who cheat never admit to the extent they are doing. It's trickle-truthing, you're being gaslighted, and you're acting as if you have to try super hard to save something that isn't worth saving. You're wanting to go back to the day before you found out. You're holding out hope this can be saved. But you've got a partner who is treating you as if your feelings don't matter, and she's more focused on the fantasy of what he's offering her, which, to put it bluntly, may just be the excitement of sneaking around, and once he's left with having to deal with her, bills, work, shared responsibilities, that takes a lot of the fantasy away and they'll break up. Lawyer. Divorce. Get clear. Stop moping around and acting like you need to work on this relationship. It's over. You're giving CPR to a corpse. Op made an update in the comments and wrote, talking to his wife in less than 45 minutes, wish me luck. Post-call update, worst call of my life. She's blindsided and in shock. I sent her everything and told her to call me if she wants more details. He leaves tomorrow to go out of town for the weekend. I told her to wait until he's gone, meet with a lawyer, and confront him when he gets home. My wife is gonna flip when he cries to her about how I told his wife. Should be interesting. I live in a soap opera, and I despise soaps. What do you think about all of this? Do you have any advice for Op? Also, do you think there's any hope for this relationship, or should Op just cut his losses and move on? Let us know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this. Hit the notification bell to make sure you never miss an upload.